This video covers two exercises, full circles and half circles. They should be combined as soon as you're feeling comfortable with both. Practicing these exercises will help horses and humans to improve their coordination and to get synchronized with each other. The horse will learn to move independently the front end from the hind end. Moreover, as you combine half circles with full circles, this will limit your horse's anticipation and develop his capacity to wait for you and to follow your cues. This foundation groundwork can be done correctly only if you have been through the fundamentals first. Lunging your horse at all three gaits without reluctance is a must-have if you want to be able to perform these circles. Starting position is the same as in the lunging exercise. Point the direction and wait for your horse to walk around you in a circle before you start to untrack his hindquarters. There are many parameters to keep in mind when leading your horse in circles. First, he has to yield before you. He should clearly step away and around you. That means you can use your flag to push him away whenever you think he's getting too close. Second, when stopping your horse, you have to be particular and accurate. He should untrack his hindquarters and pivot on his inside front leg. That exercise is very helpful for so many horses. It will help you deal with super energetic horses, as you can funnel their energy in an extremely useful maneuver. It will also help you with spooky horses, as you get their attention on one very specific task. It will naturally help you establishing your leadership over dominant horses, as you keep asking them to yield before you, alternatively front and hind. And it will help you waking up dull horses, as they have to keep up with you if they want that flag to remain where it is. Once you can lead your horse on decent full circles, you can start to work on half circles. Choose a straight line going down the arena and untrack your horse at the end of each half circle. Combine this to full circles from time to time to break the pattern and to pick a new line if necessary. Once again, feel free to use your flag when extra pressure is required. At the beginning, some horses may hesitate to switch direction, so you might need to push them gently until they get relaxed and move through more easily. The more you will practice, the more confident will be your horse. And the better the horse can move, the safer is the rider. In the early stages, such quick changes of direction can make your horse feel unsure. Spooky horses can actually get frightened by such level of pressure, and dull horses might be a little too lazy to move lightly around you. The good response is not to release at once, but to let the horse go through the process. Give him some time to think about what you are asking. Always be consistent. If you have asked for a change of direction, do not give up until the said thing has been done. Moreover, do not let the horse get behind you. Keep walking and put pressure with your flag until the horse pivots and goes back on a circle in the other direction. Sometimes you may feel it is better to stop and let the horse soak up the exercise. A few seconds waiting may save you a lot of time, as this becomes the horse's idea to move from one side to the other. Last but not least, keep in mind that your horse ought to fade away from you when he walks before you. It has to be a half circle around you. You should not let the horse come through you. Never back up in front of your horse. Another common problem is the difficulty for some horses to untrack their hindquarters. Sorry for the poor quality of the footage. This one is pretty old, but it illustrates perfectly my point. See how this horse is jumping like a frog instead of dancing with his hind legs? You have to be really particular during the changes of direction and insist on the horse to cross his hind legs. If your horse does not respond correctly, feel free to get back on a full circle and to put pressure toward his hip. Untracking your horse is very important, as it will help him to feel more comfortable at all three gaits, more self-confident when turning, pivoting, and doing all these Western or dressage maneuvers, for instance. Untracking a horse's hindquarters will eliminate 90% of his bucking and disrespectful behavior. Your patience will soon be rewarded, as both rider and horse will strengthen their partnership. Backing up from the ground helps to build up lightness and to reinforce that bond between you and your horse. This exercise is also the first step to teach a horse to back up properly from the saddle. Whether you are using the lead rope, a slobber strap, or the rein, hold it with your thumb pointing down. Your goal is just to slightly wiggle it until your horse starts to move backward. The important part of that exercise is to get your horse soft in the neck. You want to see him yield at the poll. That process can actually take some time with young or dull horses. Once more, consistency is a key to success. The very first step is to teach the cue to the horse. The better he is with the fundamentals, the quicker will be the response. Position yourself by the head of your horse. Grab the lead rope and gently wiggle it from one side to the other until the horse starts to move backward. One small step is a good first response. Then, just build on this and demand up to 3 consecutive steps. But this time, look for that soft feel. Feel is hard to teach. It is something you must experience, and that exercise is an easy way to experience it for the first time. There is a moment when you will feel your horse becoming very light in your hand. Visually, you will see your horse yield at the poll, the tip of the nose coming in momentarily. That is the exact moment when you should release pressure and pet your horse. Once the cue is well acquired by your horse, you can start to build lightness. Repeating this exercise regularly will help your equine partner to become light and soft. Pretty soon, a light pressure of your finger will be enough for your horse to collect, be soft at the poll, and back up. If your horse does not respond and stand still, you should offer the second deal. That is to wiggle the rein more firmly. Do not be violent. Yet, be firm and keep asking until you get a response. Make sure you finish your cue with a light touch before you release pressure and reward your horse. It won't be long before your horse chooses the gentle wiggle as a cue to back up. Sometimes, a horse can lose track of what you're asking. His attention can get caught by a car, another horse, whatever. Don't get frustrated. Just keep your objective in mind. Don't release. Be a little more insistent if necessary. If you are using reins, you can even gently tap the bit ring on the horse's cheek to wake him up and remind him about your existence. That will help your horse refocus on the task and you can get back to work. Sending a horse can be a very powerful tool in our everyday horsemanship. We use it to move a horse in and out of a stall, lead him through a gate, load into a trailer, bring him out of the pasture, even when others are around and stay behind, and so much more. It's the little things that make a big difference. At this stage of groundwork, you should be able to work with your horse on the field, lightly, softly, and with connection. It all begins with clarity. You need to make sure your cue is clear and safe for both you and your horse. The basics are the same as when you're lunging or leading in circles. But this time, we're adding something new: the fence or the wall of an arena. Horses naturally dislike tight, enclosed spaces, can feel claustrophobic to them. It takes trust for a horse to confidently move between you and the fence. In the beginning, be patient. Give your horse a moment to figure it out, to discover that it's safe. And as he moves, keep your flag between you and him, encouraging your horse to move around you, not over you. After a few repetitions, your horse will start moving through smoothly and with more trust. Once he's confident, you can practice in trickier spots, like doorways, gates, the back of your truck, a trailer, anywhere. Each success will reinforce the bond between you and your horse. As he learns, he can trust you in all kinds of situations. Some horses might hesitate or resist at first. That's okay. If that happens, offer them the second deal. First, raise your flag to apply pressure. Then, tap firmly on the shoulder to clearly show your intent. And remember, reward every try. Pet your horse and let him know you see this wide effort he's making for you. He should be proud of himself. Il n'y a pas de tranquillité. In those first few attempts, your horse might just keep walking around you in a circle instead of pivoting, still hesitating. That's where you need to be clear. The moment he moves through, pull firmly on the lead rope to tip his nose toward you. His body will naturally follow, bending, disengaging the hindquarters, and stopping.
Voilà, elle est tout de suite extrêmement agitée. Il n'y a pas de tranquillité.
Some horses lack self-confidence, and they will require a little more patience from you. Stay calm. Keep your fly between you and the horse, and gently invite them to move between you and the fence. Don't push too hard. Let them take their time. You can even stop them right in the middle, just to make them realize it's safe. And remember, as soon as your horse makes one calmer pass, even just a little bit better than before, quit for the day. That small win is enough. Next time, your horse might panic again, but it won't be as intense and it won't last as long. Same deal. Quit when you see a real nice improvement and start again the day after. Over time, your horse will eventually understand that as long as you're there, he's safe. The fence exercise is very useful for those who have to use mounting stools, for instance. It is also pretty interesting to reinforce communication and trust between you and your horse. The first step consists of repeating the sanding exercise from the fence. I put a link to my program and to this specific video in the description box below. This point of view is different for your horse, and practicing something he already knows well will help him to feel comfortable with this new situation. Then, you can start to teach a new cue from the fence. That is, to yield the hindquarters in order to get closer to the fence. Raise gently your hand, then bump on a rope until you get one first step in the good direction. Later, keep bumping until your horse crosses the hind legs. Finally, you should keep bumping on the rope until he comes parallel to the fence. Now, it is time to combine these new cues to bring your horse to the fence in a smooth and nice move. This new position is a good opportunity to reinforce the desensitizing process by waving the flag right from above the saddle to simulate a rider. Process is the same as desensitizing from the ground. Keep flapping until your horse stops and shows a sign of relaxation. It will not take long until he becomes well used to that flag. Sometimes, the fence exercise is the only solution to mount a horse for the first time. Repeat the process as usual and add your weight on the stirrup or in the saddle. If the horse starts to move, back him up and start all over again. Pretty soon, your horse will stand still and you can sit on the saddle. Be cautious when you work with colts or problem horses, as they can have some unusual and spooky reactions. Be sure you can stop your horse and reassure him until he calms down. Leading a horse on a rope is not exactly an exercise. It's more like a way of life. I think it shows a lot about riders and their horses. After a few steps, it is quite easy to see who leads who. A horse should follow smoothly, at the same speed as his leader, without ever passing him or her. He should know his place and respect your safety bubble. He should also be in sync with you, speeding up when necessary, slowing down when you wish to, and stopping on a very short notice. This is the natural behavior of a foal towards its mother. It will follow her pace and direction without her having to say anything at all. Safety is extremely important, and the first thing your horse should get used to is to not trample on you when you slow down or stop. He has to be aware of your position all the time. The trick is pretty simple. Just go on a walk with your horse and, from time to time, stop suddenly. Of course, you do also have to know where your horse is, so just make sure he's not right behind you, but slightly on your right. At the beginning, he might not stop right away. Back him up, put him back where you need him, which is behind your right shoulder, and start again. When he does the right thing and stops right behind you, feel free to pet your horse. Show him how proud you are. The second thing you need to teach your horse is to yield to the lead rope. There should be slack in your rope all the time. So if you speed up and the horse doesn't follow right away, you will feel tension in a rope. Keep it that way until he speeds up, then make sure there is some slack in your rope, as this is the reward for following you. After some time, you just have to show confidence. Let your horse loose and do what you have to do. If you have done a good work, he will follow you, as you have become a gentle and respectful leader. Any horse can easily be led on a rope, but make sure you don't start with that exercise. I already said it before, but I say it again. You should not try to work with the horse, even less to ride that horse, if you're not really good at the groundwork fundamentals. I have described these 3 basic exercises in my program, and you will find the links to the videos in the description here below. Backing up is essential to teach your safety bubble to the horse. Lunging is a key to take control of his moves. And desensitizing can be of real importance with nervous, scary horses. They need to trust you are worthy of following. At the beginning of the education, especially with colts, it might be difficult for your horse to follow, as it demands trust from him. You may build that trust by showing patience and gentleness. Do not try to force your horse. It would be a battle lost in advance anyway. Gently pull on the rope and wait. Let your horse make that first step toward you and reward it. Pretty soon, he will rather follow you as soon as you move with a chance of a nice rub than stay behind and go through uncomfortable pressure. I'm including a link in the description to a video specifically dedicated to the most stubborn horses, especially those with the annoying tendency to pull back.
Yeah.